So hi there everyone. In this video tutorial I'm going to be showing you how you can install and set up the drum maker software. If you have an electronic drum kit and you're a drummer, you've probably thought about downloading a drum software in order to improve the sound quality, you know, of the drums themselves. Because unless you buy a drum kit that's say over $1,000, by default the default drum sounds are not going to be so nice, so pleasing that you might say want to use it in a professional situation. And so for that you might want to download a drum software. There's tons of drum software available, like Easy Drummer, Superior Drummer, but those softwares cost a lot of money, and if you're looking to go the free route, then I believe right now Drum Maker is one of the best out there. I did try out MT Power Drum kits, but in my opinion, I found that the kick was just too silent, and I didn't like the hi-hat, for instance. The hi-hat just sounded so soggy and dry at certain times. So that's why I prefer the Drum Maker software. So after enough, let's get started. First thing you're going to want to do is open your web browser and then type in Sennheiser Drum Maker or just Drum Maker as I've typed in there. And then you're going to want to click on the first link, this one, since it's already open in my web browser. So this is what the website looks like when you first open it. And the website is in German. So I recommend you to use Google Chrome so that you can translate it. So if you have Chrome, click there, translate it. Okay, now that it's been translated, you have to click on the tab where it says Drum Maker. So we're first going to start with info and downloads. Okay, now that this page has loaded up, we're going to select our platform. If you're using a Mac, you click there. And since we're using Windows, we're going to click here. Okay, so all right. So that's the download itself. I'm not going to download it right now because I have already downloaded it. And the file itself is about 4 gigabytes, I would say. Yeah. Okay. So you can go through that and download. Once the download is complete, you're going to install it. So one other thing you're going to want to do is to register. In order to be able to use the drum software, you have to register an account on the website. But don't worry, you're not going to pay any money for it. I mean, after all, they're giving you a complete drum software for free. So, I mean, the least you could do is register. So, you go after that, you're going to go through these steps. You know, uh, it's pretty much common sense. It's straightforward. There, yes, I know the tool. How did you know about it? You say forums, then we click next. Personal information, mail, okay, country, choose your country, and you enter those details, and then go to the next one. And once you're done, you're going to be asked to put in your email address. So make sure you put in your real email address. And after that is done, they're going to send you an email which will contain your activation code. That activation code is very important because that is what we're going to use to activate our software once it's been downloaded. So this is what the email looks like. So once you've registered, they're going to send you the email, but don't pay so much attention to that. It's the rest of it is in German, but what you're going to want to pay attention to is this part here that says activation code. Okay, so now I can show you my software that I downloaded. Okay, so when you rather download it, it's going to be a zip archive, and this is mine. I actually downloaded it a couple of days ago, but I uninstalled it for the purposes of doing this tutorial. So the archive is 4.7 gigs. So you're going to want to right click on it, and if you have a program that is able to view zip files on your computer, you're going to then click on extract. So you're going to extract files there, or alternatively you could use the Windows default. I believe Windows is able to view these files by default. Yes. No, it just chose. Let me see. Open with Windows. Yeah. Windows is able to view files. So then you go to extract, choose the directory, and then press there. So once that has been extracted, you're going to want to go to the directory of the extracted files and then open it like so. Next, click on the setup file. Okay, so the installer is open. Press next, choose a language. There's only two languages available, so it's either English or German. So you press next, accept these terms and conditions. Then afterwards, you press next. But one more thing, uh, this software actually comes bundled with Contact Player, so you don't have to separately download Contact Player. Everything comes bundled together. Okay, I don't need that. I don't need that also. Okay, go. Okay, so let's go next. Then choose where you want the software to be installed. I'm going to install it to my external hard drive. Okay, next. Yeah, I'm going to put that in my external drive as well. I don't have much space on my internal SSD. Okay, next. Okay, so we'll wait for it to complete installing, and then after that we'll move over to the next part of the tutorial. Okay, so our software has just finished installing, and that took a while. So this is what we get after installing. Run service for product activation. Yeah. So click finish. Okay. So here we are now. I believe he's already recognized my email address, since this is not the first time I'm registering with this software. So okay, let's click there. You're just going to fill in that according to whatever you want. Just put in anything. Can't see Studio One. Okay, let's click other. Okay. Okay, since my product is already activated, in your case, when you get to this part, it's going to ask you to enter your activation code. And remember, as I showed you from the earlier part of the video, this is the activation code. It's an example of the activation code. I don't mean you should type in this exact activation code. It's not going to work for you, because this is only going to work for me, because this is what I was given when I registered. So if you follow the registration steps on the website, they're going to send you an activation code in your email. And that's the activation code you're going to copy and then input into this part of the software. And if all goes well, it should be activated. Okay, so now we move on to the next part, which is running this software inside of Studio One and then connecting your drum kit. Okay, so before you open up the Studio One software on your computer or whatever other digital audio workstation you are using, you're going to want to make sure that your USB MIDI cable is plugged into your computer. This is my cable. It's actually USB. USB. Let me show you what the front end looks like. This is what mine looks like. If you have one of those older drum kits, you might have one of those ports that looks like one of those cables you plug into a printer. So make sure that's plugged into your drum kit. Then you plug this into the USB ports of your computer, like so. Like so. Then make sure that your drum kit is turned on. Next, we're going to open up Studio One by clicking on the icon there, then wait for it to load up. Okay, I don't have any more wave software, so I'll just skip, and wait for it to continue loading. Okay, so now we're at the home screen, and before we go any further, you have to configure your audio devices. Make sure that your drum kit is being detected by the software. So to do that, you're going to have to create a new MIDI device in there. As you can see, that's my device which I already created prior to making this video, but for your case I'm going to create a new one. So to create a new one, you click on add and then select new keyboard on the left panel, and then just leave that as new keyboard. Manufacturer, if you don't know the name of the manufacturer, leave it like that. And then under device name, you can name it whatever you want. MIDI channel, select all, receive from. If you click in the drop down box and you've correctly configured your drum kit is on, you should see it in that drop down list. As you can see, that's the name of my drum kit, so select that. Your name could be different, it doesn't have to be like that, but since I've already configured this drum kit, that's why it's telling me that. Okay, so select your drum kit in the receive from and then send to. You can leave that as none and then click OK. It's as easy as that, guys. As you can see, our new MIDI keyboard has been created. Okay. Okay, so this part here right here is very important with regards to latency. As I said, if you don't configure this part properly, you might experience latency when you try to play something with your drum kit. So this part here is what dictates the latency. Latency is, okay, in our context, it's the time that it takes between you hitting the drum pad and your ear hearing the sound of the drum. So if I hit the snare pad, the time that is going to take for me to hear that sound, that is what is called latency. Normally you want to have a small number of latency. You don't want to hear the sound several seconds after you play. That is not realistic. You can't play like that. So for those of you who don't have an audio interface like these devices that are shown here, you're going to want to install Azure for All driver. You can go to Google and you find the download link there. So install that on your system and it's pretty much automatic. That's all you need to do. And then over here where it says device block size and internal block size, this internal block size, it can be different depending on the machine that you have, but for my machine I can have a maximum of 512 samples. So that's the maximum I can have. So you're going to want to have to cycle through these. You can start at the least number and then go right up to the maximum and see which one works for you. And then if I want to change the device block size, I have to click here where it says control panel and slide to the left or to the right, like so. So if I take it all the way to the left, it means I'm now using 64 samples, and 64 samples. And let me also change for this other device. Okay, so we have 64 samples there, And as you can see here, stop disturbing me. As you can see here, the latency is at 4.67 milliseconds. It's all right, but I noticed that when I try to record at this let me say this low sample rate, uh, I noticed a lot of crackling in the audio, and certain beats were like, getting left out. So for me, what I found worked best was this setting here, uh, right about 256, leaving it at about 256 samples. That worked best for me, and I found that it was working perfectly for me. In your case, it might be different. You might want to go up or down, just depending on, on your setup. So you're going to do a bit of trial and error and find what works best for you. Okay, so at 256 samples, I have a latency of 6.67 milliseconds, and that it's all right. It works out all right for me. So that's what you're going to have to set up. In case you missed that part, go to Studio One options, and then press the tab that says audio setup, and that's where you're going to configure everything from. So next thing, we're going to create a new song. I'm just going to create an empty song, leave everything as is. Okay, sample rate, I'll go with 96 kilohertz. I think I get better sound quality when I record at a higher sample rate. You could go with 44 or 48 kilohertz, or even higher depending on your preferences, but for me, I just like to stick with 96 kilohertz. Okay, so now that an instance of Studio One is open, you are going to want to click on this contact 5 icon and drag it onto this place, and it's going to instantly create a new track, and drum mic is going to open, and this is what it looks like when it's open. So after that, you click on instrument, and then click on drum mica v1 /0 en.nki. Click on that, and drum mica is going to load up. Just wait a moment. Okay, so now that everything is loaded, and this is what it looks like when the software first opens up. Yeah, so okay, yeah. And if you want to change the drum sound, you have to click on these different microphones that you can see around. As you can see, each drum part, or rather each drum, has a microphone right next to it. So if, for instance, I wanted to change the sound of the snare, just tap on the microphone, which is just next to the snare, and choose one of these three options. You can think of these microphones as different drum kits per se. So right now this one is selected. If I wanted this one instead, I'll just click on it like that, and that gives it a snare. That gives it a different sound. And the snare also has a second mic on the bottom, so you could also choose one of those. Same goes for the cymbals with the overhead mic over there, or you can choose this pair. It's also a different one, or this one. It all depends on you. As you can see, each drum has its own mic. So now I'm going to show you how you can how you can record to a new track, rather how you can record audio to our track in Studio One there. So what you're going to want to do is click on output there. Okay, since I've already clicked it, and then look for the part where it says add channels. Click that, then you select the number of channels that you want to add, then click to this part that says sound card / host output. By default it says not connected, but that's not what we want. So click the drop down box, and then since I only want to output to one track, I'll select this one, KTST1. Okay, and then click OK. So now all the audio that is going to be played from my drum kit is going to be output to this ST1 track, which is going to be, let me just resize this a bit, which is going to be this track here. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And in the next segment, I'm going to be showing you a few demos, of the drum sounds that this kit has. So stay tuned for that part. I'm just going to try hitting some of the drum pads to make sure that we have audio output and our drum kit is properly connected.